Broadcasting from the greatest castle in the world, in the county of Lawrence, NCTV45.
Simple elegance in a majestic setting. Yes, right here in downtown Newcastle, minutes away from shopping, seconds from a gas station, and let's not forget pastries, a restaurant, and oh yes, the schools. The majestic for that majestic lifestyle, right in the greatest castle, Newcastle. Come by and take a look.
At our law firm, we see you. Come see us at lgkg.com.
NCTV45, The Train, anytime on your time.
Hello and welcome to another Focus NC. No, you're not seeing things. Yes, this is the Newswatch Nightly set, but it was convenient. And since I'm the boss, I decided that's the one we're going to use, and I like the way it looks. We're welcoming today Dawn, not Tony Orlando and Dawn, but Dawn to Focus NC, and there's a lot of activity that you may not know about that encompasses all of Lawrence County. And you know, when we're together, we're great. So let me start. Shelley, give a little wave. Janice is in the middle, and my good friend Ken. And why don't you tell us a little bit as we start here about Dawn?
So Dawn is a very interesting company, has lots of entities in it, but the main focus is what Dawn stands for, Disability Options Network. And we have what's called a Center for Independent Living, and we have those in 7 counties in the Northwest region. And the focus is on advocacy with the goal of empowering people with disabilities to live as independently as they choose. We serve 7 counties. I will try to remember them. It's Butler, Beaver, Mercer, Lawrence, Armstrong, Westmoreland, and Allegheny. So there's a Center for Independent Living in all of those. And what is the Center of Independent Living? Well, basically it's where we have our core services. We have 5. We have advocacy, information and referral, skills training, peer support, and transition support. So if you were looking to call into Dawn to find out some information, we always try to guide all the consumers that call in towards the CIL. We call it the CIL, Center for Independent Living. And then they will do, the staff that supports the CIL will do an intake. So they know how to direct you to the services that we provide. Whether it's housing, or it's Elm Street, or it's events, or it's some attendant care, that's where we like people to call in. So when you call into Dawn, there's a team that answers the phone, they do an intake, it goes into the system, and if you call in again, then we just go in, put your name in, and we just keep adding notes to that. So that is located in 7 counties. Our CIL is located at 831 Harrison Street in Newcastle.
Okay, I was going to ask that question. I'm glad you said that. That is great, and that's an example of a building that was going nowhere and now is being utilized in a very positive manner. Okay, and just because, for those that are NCTV45 junkies, they saw me and Shelley together a long time ago. What is that building for out by Cascade Park? And I'm going to show my age. It was a Winkies.
It was a Winkies. So that's our main office.
Okay.
That's where our HR department and accounting department is located.
That's great. And you know, when we come back, we're going to talk about gardening right after we hear from these folks. It was a peaceful day, don't you know? And then the volcano started to go. Out it came, delicious, you see. It was Lava Joe's with 3 awesome flavors you can employ: signature mild, molten medium, and hot magma on anything you enjoy. Try some today and you will say Lava Joe's is A-OK. And we're back just like that. Now, I went to Union, and Union had a school farm. So I felt good when they always said you're outstanding in your field. But, tell us a little bit about the gardening that Dawn is doing.
Okay, well, there's 2 gardens. One is called the Lower East Side Community Garden. It has a Facebook page, and it bings on Google Maps. The address of it is 202 North Walnut Street here in the Lower East Side of Newcastle, Pennsylvania. So what we do there is we grow produce and we give it away 100% free. How we are able to do this is we ask the community to come out during our events, which is usually ran by Shelley, and then they come and we do the planting, we do the bed making, and then when it's harvest time, we harvest and we give away the produce 100% free, Angela. So we mirrored that on the south side, which on the south side community garden, which also has a Facebook page, and it also bings on Google Map. I keep saying bing, but it's it pins on Google Map. So we mirrored that down there, and created a garden down there for that community. That address would be East Holmes Street. It's actually on the corner of Friendship, Holmes, and
313 East Home.
and Pollock.
Right. There was a school over there named Pollock Avenue, and Yearages had their restaurant there at the corner of Home Street and Pollock Avenue, that area. Now, so you plant the plants there, and with us filming in July, a lot of the plants have to be in, but now comes the weeding.
Yes.
And the watering.
Yes.
And the watering,
Yes.
which is very important. Talk about volunteerism.
Daunting task. I'm gonna start volunteering. First of all, the land itself for the Southside Community Garden was volunteer itself. Mike Limpy, Lawns and Beyond, donated the land. All right, and then we were able to utilize the land to grow a beautiful garden. People need to visit it. Visit the garden if you haven't yet. And so how, like you said, how we maintain it is we will create an event, usually Shelley. We put out the flyer. We ask the community to come in and volunteer their time. I still tell everybody there's 730 hours in a month. If you can't volunteer 2 of those hours to help your community, there's probably something wrong there. But we ask the volunteers to come out. And we usually get, I think our last event, we had 46 volunteers down at the Southside Community Garden. We were able to help Mary Burris and the Lawrence County Conservation finish up a rain garden, dry creek bed project that she had going on. We were also able to erect a rainwater collection unit that was sponsored, paid for by the Hoyt Institute. Kim Kohler-Jones has been excellent with supporting our gardens. And manufactured by the George Jr. Republic. So, and there's a lot of other hands. This is the Corey Kendall idea, and we brought it. So it's a water rain collection, beautiful butterfly. If people haven't seen that, they need to go see it. And when it rains, we collect the water and use that to water the plants. But we're also getting the help from the Newcastle Fire Department, who has been very instrumental in coming down and helping us keep these plants watered so we can give away these produce 100% free.
That's a very good thought. You know, I made a little joke at the beginning, but all of the county schools, Union, Laurel was a merger, Mohawk was a merger, but they all had FFA, Future Farmers of America. A lot of them still have the greenhouses, and a lot of them still have, I know that Laurel Well, Laurel and Mohawk still have the program, and Mr. Lamb, he was a district justice. He was head of the Union FFA at the time, before he transitioned to other areas. But that's interesting. So you have 2 gardens. Roughly how big are they?
Well, you're going to have me guessing. I know the one where we're planning on 2 city lots up on the Lower East Side community, at the Lower East Side, and then on the south side is slightly bigger than that, but we're not planning on all of the area. We're leaving an open area for recreation. We're also in the works with an organization, Victory, the Victory Church, who's recently come up here. Pastor Owens has really been great with coming up and helping us out with him and his volunteers, and we're looking for some future involvement with them to even build some areas up there.
And anytime you have anything like that, if you get it to us, we'll put it out on Community Happenings and in Newswatch, and send us some pictures. We'll be glad to get it up for you.
Okay.
Now, and I'm real bad with dimensions, so you can't ask me how big anything is. Now, we're going to take a break here, and we're going to tell you where there's no nightmare on Elm Street. But let's take a break. We'll be right back. Gelateria is an authentic Italian gelateria and coffee bar. Established in 2018 by founder Alex Papa, this gelateria is excellent. And let's not forget the pastries, cannoli, tiramisu, baklava, and scones, but also, and very important, gelata. And they have paninis too. It's Papa's Gelateria, is located 318 Highland Avenue. They're open 7 to 9. We're back, and Freddy Krueger has left the building. We're going to talk about the Elm Street project. Now, I'm going to show you that on our segment right now. We'll take a look. This is the area designated behind the courthouse for the projects that Dawn is doing. And rather than me talk about it, I'm going to defer to Ken.
So, Angelo, the Elm Street designation is like what I like to call it, is an area of the Lower East Side, Newcastle, Pennsylvania, and it has been designated by the state of Pennsylvania to give us aid in helping us revitalize that area. Now, Donna's in the Blueprint community have already previously been doing that since 2017, since they started building houses, since the first community gardens have been going up, and since the community programs, the other community programs like Neighborhood Watch and things like that have been happening since 2017. So what the Elm Street designation is allow us to get the foot up on grants and information and support from the state through the Pennsylvania Downtown Center, and it allows us to continue what we've been doing with Dawn, but even on a greater scale. And it's all encompassing. It has 5 different components to it. One is safe, clean, and green. Another is design. Another is neighbors and economy. And another is, the last one is image and identity. So we focus on these 5 areas and see how we can revitalize this neighborhood and bring it back to what it used to be back in the day.
Right. It was a very successful neighborhood, because right below the courthouse, on the one side of Greek's House of Gold, there's a street called County Line Street. And that's where the county line actually ran, separating Mercer County and Beaver County. And the line, you could do something on one and run across the line, and then you were home free, I guess. But the river was changed a little bit too, because the County Line Street ran into the downtown area, but ran all the way out where you see it on County Line Street, that's just a continuation of the street out there by the Cascade Post Office. Now, I've seen some of the houses that were there. How many have been put together so far? Or maybe a better question is, how long does it take to get, we live in a microwave society where you push the popcorn button and in 10 seconds you got popcorn. You know, how long does it take to do something like that?
Well, these are my numbers, so don't hold me to them. I believe that we have closed on 7 houses, and I believe there's 2 more that are close to being finished. We're looking for a few more, so the numbers are, I can't specifically give you a
Right.
number. I can't even tell you how long it takes. I know that some houses will take longer than others. We have a couple different models that we've been using, and that 2019 model, 2020 model homes. I can tell you that they're all accessible, that we're putting a lot more money into these homes than what we're selling them to the individuals for. They are going to individuals like people who may have went through a domestic situation or low income, persons with disability, a variety of areas that we're trying to get these homes into, the hands of.
And it's convenient right there with the accessibility to downtown
Yes.
and the pharmacies.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because the Lower East Side also has what's called the hemp house. If you ever had that story, heard that story, you're probably under a rock. The hemp house is an amazing thing that everybody needs to look into. Matter of fact, they're running something on America by Design. So check out that, look for Little Newcastle, Pennsylvania on that great show, and give us a vote there. So it's the Hemp House Project, I believe is how they like it.
Now,
And it's within the Elm Street.
to step back on that a second, we did here at NCTV45, it was by dawn, and they had invited people in to talk about hemp and the different things that they use it for. Window sills, it's not just this one thing.
It's multiple.
Okay, and those were some facts that I pulled out of that by going. A lot of people might not be familiar with how hemp is used in construction, but it is, and I want to make that clear.
And that's actually showcased at 506 Spruce Street.
Okay,
So that's where the hemp house, it's the PA Hemp House, and, when they go in to actually finish the house, they're gonna use flooring that was made out of hemp and a lot of different features. So that you really need to take a ride by, and that house, when it's completed, will be for sale.
okay, 506
Spruce Street.
Bruce Street. We're gonna have to get back to that. Now, we have to talk with some of our sponsors. And, Ken, do you have something to add?
No, I'm good.
We're gonna talk with our sponsors. We got lots of things to come back with. So just hang in there. We'll be back in a flash.
This program sponsored by Lombardo's Apothecary, located at 1230 South Mill Street on the south side of Newcastle.
Jim Micco and Sons, 347 East Washington Street in Newcastle, can service a lot of your lawn equipment. It's jimmickoandsons.com, their website, and you can email them at jimmickoandsons@verizon.net. Their phone number, 724-652-6911. Proud sponsors of community television in Newcastle. Welcome back, and now it's time to talk about a little thing called housing repair. Now, everybody that has a house knows how difficult it is, so I deferred to Janice
Okay.
a little bit on housing repair?
So, Dawn is building new homes, but we're also rehabbing present homes that need some work done. We are working on the Lower East Side, which we call our target area, and we have several grants out there that if the person is low to very low or low income, disabled, has children living in the home, or grandparent raising grandchildren, they can apply. And it's always a good thing to call in. We do an intake facil, and then we look at it, and then we can send an application out. We manage a grant called the USDA grant, and we have those in all the 7 counties, but unfortunately, the Lower East Side it's not rural, so we have some other grants to use. But we're also looking for people with our USDA grants. We can do up to $3,000. It's a dollar-for-dollar match program, so that means if we put in 3, you have to come up with 3 unless we have some other grants to match with it. And we kind of like the person or the consumer to contribute a small amount, because I'm a big believer if you buy into that, you're going to take better care than if it's given to you. And we do things, it depends on what needs done. The application goes out, you send the application back with some supporting documents, we take a look at it. If we feel that we can do that, work with that house, we send out an inspector to just take a look at what you said needs done, and then the process rolls from there. So we do have those grants in Mercer, Beaver, Butler, Lawrence, Armstrong, and we're always looking for people. Again, you have to keep in mind it is a match program. Unless you're on the Lower East Side, then we may have other funds to substantiate or
Right.
offset it. So if you think you're in need of a repair, and we call in, get an intake, and if we can send you an application, we will. There's no guarantees, but there's a lot of different parameters that we look at. But again, it's worth a try if you're especially in that Lower East Side area. And if you're in the rural area, that's where the USDA grants come in handy.
Now, yeah, the rural areas would be the other counties.
Well, our county too. The rural areas in our county would be qualified for the USDA.
And the income guidelines on this program is pretty high, so just don't think that you might make too much money. Fill the application out if you request it, fill it out, send it back, let them review it, let them tell you.
And it's
whether they can
owner
offer.
occupied, so that means you have to live in the property and own the property. Whether it's a trailer, you have to own the trailer and the land underneath the trailer, or your home. If it's a rental property, you don't qualify for the program.
See, and I'm glad you said that about income limits, because a lot of people assume
Correct.
Yeah,
that they're already disqualified.
correct.
And that is not true. Now, when we come back, which is just like Newswatch, we got to talk about the events, because Dawn has events, and you might want to take part in one of these great events. We'll be right back. Today's programming is brought to you by NCTV45 and NC Radio 450, Newcastle's community television station. And we're back, just like that. And now it's time to talk about something that really derailed everything. Now that COVID's over, we're back to community events. And I think for those of you that saw the concerts at the Confluence, at Riverwalk Park, you know how much everybody really enjoyed that. And I did see young and old alike there. So now, Shelley, tell us a little bit about some of the community events Dawn has scheduled.
Okay. So we are looking at doing a Freedom Fair Fireworks Festival in the near future. There's a lot of rumors going around that July 17th is going to be the Freedom Fair Fireworks Festival. Is not going to happen on July 17th from Dawn's.
Right.
With COVID and everything like that, the restrictions from COVID and everything,
It made
being
it
released,
tough.
yeah, it was hard, and now that the restrictions are are better now. So we do want to bring the Freedom Fair Fireworks Festival back. It's in the process, so we'll keep you updated on that. Once we have more progress on what day it'd be, what it's going to entail, we will definitely get that out to the community. That's a community thing. Everybody wants to do community things again, so that's definitely, as soon as we have something with the city, we will definitely get it out in front of everybody. One of the things we do, we're looking forward to also is in the fall. We do what we call an autumn bash. It's out at the Lawrence County Fairgrounds. It's with the 4-H group.
Okay.
So it's a day that they come out, they bring, there's like a petting zoo, there's animals out there, there's face painting, pumpkin painting, bingo, stuff like that for people with disability and the 4-H groups to do, so that's something that we do there. We try to do like a Thanksgiving meal with people with disability and our consumers. And then we start the year off right before the Super Bowl. We have what we call a Soup-a-thon that we do with people with disability and our consumers. It's located at Dawn's at 831 Harrison Street. We do that. We also have a disability ball that we usually put on in the spring, again, because of COVID. Obviously, we didn't have it this year. And then we also do a Summer Fest. Again, because of COVID, this year we couldn't do it. So we do a lot of events, and then we also do a lot of events with the community gardens. On May 22nd, we did a kickoff with the community garden down on the south side. Like Kenny said before, we had 46 volunteers come out, and that day we spent planting all the plants that we had. We had like 200 some plants that we did that day. It was a great turnout with the community. We also did a neighborhood cleanup. So we partner with Jerry Zona, with Cleanways, and we partner with them, and we do some cleanups. We also did one also on the east side. I forget the date we did that one on. So, but with the community gardens, we are planning a harvest. So when the vegetables are ready to be picked and stuff like that, we're going to have a huge event, kick that off, harvest, so you can come out, weed, pick, have a good day.
There you go. And that sounds good, because cooking a castle, you know, we canned hot peppers right on the air. I think we're the only ones that did that. And maybe we have to cook down some tomatoes or something to show an authentic Italian sauce. But I want to thank you, Shelley, Janice, Ken, for stopping by, and thank Dawn for all their caring and what they've done to pull a community together, not just revitalize it, because that human interaction is so very important. And I thank Dawn for everything that they have done and are working towards. Now for Focus NC, I'm Angelo Parada, and here's hoping you have a great day. Remember, we're available anytime on your time, a train that runs on your schedule. That's NCTV45. Have a great day, everybody, and don't forget to share it and tell a friend.